Hey guys, so I'm back here with another review on belay devices. This one's going to be pretty quick because I want to talk about the new Black Diamond ATCs that came out. I've been using Black Diamond ATCs for years. This is my latest one I have. It's still got a little bit of life in it before I retire it. And I'm going to talk in a different video about when it's time to retire devices or like certain metal pieces like ATCs. But I went ahead and I picked up a new one just to compare the old model to the new model. And I'm going to start by spraying you down with some of the same stuff that you can see in the Black Diamond video about the main differences between the two devices. Here, I'll hold them up like this for easy comparing. So first things first is there are two separate holes you have on each device, and if you watch the Black Diamond video you'll actually know that this is called the A hole in manufacturing and this is called the B hole. I'm not making that up, it's actually what they're called. And so essentially you see how the A hole on the older model is rounded, whereas this is more ovular. So according to them, that means when you hang it from above in belay from above mode, the device feeds the rope through a bit better with a variety of different diameters of rope. As well as the B hole, you can see how this one's, it's kind of hard to see in the video perhaps with the angle I have to hold them at, but this one's more round, and again this one's more ovular, which means that not only can you fit more carabiners in that hole, but also you can probably get away with fitting some other materials like perhaps some nylon, not full nylon, but some thicker slings other than just Dyneema in that. But the marketing point is they say that that's perfect for a carabiner, any sort of nose of a carabiner can hook just right in that, so that way you can defeat the plaquette. It always sort of worked in this one too, but it's a little more wiggly, whereas it's a bit more dialed in with this newer guy. It doesn't move around nearly as much, so you have a bit more control. However, that style of defeating the plaquette is nearly out of date and not really recommended compared to the newer systems that we have in place, which you can also see on other videos. I have used this device now a couple of times just to see if everything is the same, especially with that hole, how the rope feeds with this more ovular A hole. And so what I can say is, so far I haven't really felt much of a difference. And I've been using the same ropes with them, all the same. I use the same carabiners, my parabiner down here, and then my D carabiner up here. And I just haven't been able to exactly find a difference so far, or at least feel one. Maybe they're right, maybe it actually does increase or decrease the amount of friction you have while you're pulling rope through. But I think it feels pretty much the same. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, this ATC is tried and true, and it has gotten me up and down so many climbs, and is a fantastic tool to have, and everyone should have some form of an ATC with them if they're climbing. So this would be a great device to have. Is it worth throwing away your good, like not fully worn out ATC to go off and buy this one? I don't think so. I think you should wait until your ATC is worn out and is in need of retirement before going out and getting a new one. And when you do, I mean, yeah, go ahead and pick this up. Maybe in a couple of months or so I'll actually change my mind and think, hey, there is actually a difference. I would be interested to know or see what it feels like when I'm belaying two separate people with two single ropes through here, which I haven't done with this device yet. Maybe that's when the ovular A hole will actually come in handy, is actually when there's two separate ropes from two independent climbers in the plate. But when I was just belaying one person, I kind of didn't really feel that much of a difference. All the friction was just about the same, pulling the rope through. And I used the same rope too, my trusty 9.4 something, when I'm threading it through. Have everything clipped to the anchor. Yeah, just that friction, it feels the same. Here we go, let's even do the test. All right, here's the other one. All right, try to remember what that feels like. Huh, interesting. Let's try it one more time. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm just not feeling a difference. I mean, maybe there is a difference, but I just can't feel it. I think it's like, there must be an actual difference. I don't think they would market it if there wasn't, but I just don't think you can really feel it. But other than that, it's pretty much all exactly the same as the previous ATC. The slots, I find, I'm gonna call them the slots, I don't know what else to call them. These right here are maybe a bit narrower than these ones. Maybe that's an illusion, but it does seem like it. Also, they sort of changed the geometry of the teeth a little bit, just to sort of make them a little more closed off. Whereas these, you can see they stay the same diameter all the way down, or the same spacing, whatever, all the way down. Here, they sort of taper a bit more around the end. I assume that's just increased friction in the high friction mode. Other than that, it's probably not going to feel too different while you're actually using the device. One thing they also added in is this guy. This is the ATC Alpine guide. And they basically just split it up. So the original ATC was from somewhere about 8 point, I think it was actually more, they recommended it around like 9 up. No, they let it go down low. I'd say at least like 8.4 to 11 or so. Here, with all the new skinny ropes coming out, and with like the possibility of the rope flipping inside the plate with the super small ones, they just decided to break it up into 2 different ATCs. So here we have the ATC guide. Actually, they didn't write the diameter sizes on them. I'm gonna have to look that up. All right, so I just looked it up. It seems like the big one is good from 8.9 to 11 millimeter diameter ropes. And then the ATC guide, or Alpine guide, is good from 6.9 up to 9 millimeters. And so that's quite a big range, 6.9 to 11. But that's why they had to split it up over the devices, whereas this one used to be the do-it-all sort of deal. So this would be good if you have twin ropes, half ropes, even some of those skinny single ropes if you really want to use an ATC with them. I have a couple 9mm ropes. I have yet to use this even once. You can see that there's no scuffs at all. But I assume it's going to work exactly the same as any of the other ATCs I've used. But it is a nice option to have in your quiver a couple different size of devices in order to allow you to belay effectively on any sort of rope you encounter. And really, it's not that much extra weight to carry around another ATC. I'm planning on using this while I'm mountaineering guiding, because you do tend to use smaller ropes, and if you do find yourself needing to belay on the mountaineering ropes, those 8/4s or something, that like they're half ropes that we use for mountaineering guiding, it would be nice to have this style device with you, or on any sort of thin alpine rope, because you're going to go for the thinnest rope that gets the job done safely. and so that's where this really comes in handy, and that's probably why they called it the Alpine guide. But other than that, twin ropes, half ropes, it'd be great to use this device for. So bottom line, Black Diamond, it really was time to upgrade this guy because they've been using the same design for years. I mean, at least since maybe the 80s or something, with this same style of device. And this was the original device that I learned to climb on, how long ago? About 13, 14 years ago now. I've had, been using these devices. I've gone through a couple now, but I've had these devices for a long time and been working with that same design. So I am excited to try out this new design once that ATC fully kicks the bucket, and see what my final thoughts are there. But I hope this review was useful for you. Maybe check it out yourself. Again, if your ATC isn't totally worn out, it's not really worth running out and buying a new one. But if you want to check it out, I mean, they're not that expensive either. So, and you'll have your backup belay device. So if you like the review, comment below if you have any questions or anything to add. Let me know about your experiences with it, and I'll see you in the next video.